Bye.
Okay. Okay. Hey guys, what's up? We're here to answer your questions. I'm Kait, obviously, and
I'm Phil.
This is Phil, my husband. And the social team is down in Nashville this week to shoot a collection and launch our Nashville collection. We thought we would do some content around my hubs, because I feel like you guys don't get to know him very well. So Tess, I think, has prepared a little something for us.
Yes, I'm over here off to the side. You can't see me. Okay, so I actually got a few questions about long distance, because you guys did long distance.
For sure.
And continue to.
Right.
When Phil's on tour. So long distance relationship advice, or is it really hard? People keep asking, is it really hard?
I feel like this is more of a question for you, because for me, I'm the one gone and working.
Yeah.
So I'm occupied. So for me, it's just don't be an idiot.
What do you mean by that? Elaborate.
I mean, obviously, when I'm on the road, I'm faithful to you.
Right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah,
I was like, what do you mean by don't be an idiot?
Don't be a dumb. Like, that's
Yeah.
basically the extent of it for me. I mean, obviously, I miss Kate a lot when I'm gone, but like I said, I'm occupied with work things. So I feel like it's easier for the person leaving than it is for the person who's at home.
Do you want to also say what you do for a living, because people may not know?
Oh, yeah, sure. I have been in Nashville for 10 years, and I've, throughout those 10 years, been pursuing a career as a musician. And as of right now, I am on tour with Kelsey Ballerini as her drummer.
Yes.
And I'll do studio stuff when I'm in town, but right now my main thing is a touring musician.
Yeah. I guess to answer this, I wouldn't say it's hard only because it's all I know. Well, I shouldn't say it's not hard. It is, but it's all we know, because even when we first started dating, like, he was trying to convince me not to date him, and he was like, I want to be a touring musician. I've wanted to do this my whole life. I've, like, wanted to play drums and be a touring musician. He kept being like, okay, do you understand that? And I'm like, yeah, totally. And then I'm like, it'll be fine. And
I
kept
wasn't
being
trying
like,
to convince you not to date
I mean,
me. I
sort
wanted
of.
to date you. I just knew you didn't really have it, because like
you don't,
like you said,
yeah, you don't know it
I
until
knew
you get
I
into
wanted
it.
to do this, what I'm doing now, since I was in 4th grade, since I was like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I just figured you weren't thinking much
And it
about
probably wasn't.
what real life was going to look like
another
10 years down the road. And yeah, so I was just making sure you understood is all.
Yeah. I guess my advice would be have open communication in your relationship. Keep yourself busy, and then surround yourself with positive people, and people that can, like, if you can find other people that are going through similar things, or other wives that have husbands that travel, I think that really helps to have a support system, because I do always feel like if you're with other couples, you don't want to be their third wheel, and so having girlfriends that you can hang out with and spend time with while they're gone helps, I feel like, pass the time. Or obviously investing in your family. I spend a ton of time with my parents, like, when he's gone, so but yeah, I mean, keeping the lines of communication open is huge. That was so long. We should shorten our answers.
No.
So I don't feel like we really text and talk a whole lot when I'm out on the road.
We don't.
Or like we rarely will do phone calls. I'll text you.
We don't talk at all.
Well, no, we do talk, but especially like if she's in Bloomington.
Yeah, if I'm working
while I'm on the road, or if I'm at home and she's in Bloomington, she goes 0 dark 30 mode, and I can't. It's hard for me to get a hold of her because she's working so much.
Yeah.
But.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, what made Phil decide to shave his head?
That's so funny. Well, I feel like I've been losing my hair for like 5 years, or it'd actually been a while. I think I started losing my hair in college.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
Kate did not want me to shave my head, but I've been asking her if I could do it for how long? I don't know.
Okay, annoyingly every day be like, I just want to shave my head. I just want to shave my head over and over again.
Because I was self-conscious about my hair. Like,
yeah, and
it didn't look amazing.
I always said, like, I don't want you to, but if you want to, and if that will make you feel more comfortable, you should. And then one day he's like, please just let me try it. And I was like, fine, just do it. Like, I'm so sick of talking about this. And then he shaved it, and I, like, when he buzzed his head, I cried too, because he looked so different. And it was just like, you feel like it's such a dramatic change, but now I'm so used to it. And your head got tan, so like when your head wasn't tan, it looked funny until your scalp tan.
It wasn't that bad, I don't think, when I first shaved it.
I don't know, it wasn't the best.
But
it's good.
I've
I'm
actually
so used
only
to it
been
now.
bald for like a little over a year.
Yeah, I did it last summer.
It hasn't been that long, I don't think.
Yeah.
But
Awesome. Okay, what's the best date you've ever been on?
Oh, I feel like I know how you would answer this.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were going to say MK in Chicago.
Well, that was fun, yeah. I don't know if there's like I don't know if I would say there's a general best date that we've ever been on. I think there's like specific ones that kind of stand out, I guess.
Just
All the like every anniversary dinner is always special.
Yeah. We usually do this like chef's pairing menu or like a chef's tasting menu that has pairings. It'll be like 10 courses, and we try to do that on our anniversary to have something like super different where we can try a bunch of different things that we wouldn't normally order. And we did that in Seattle and Chicago, and then we didn't do that in Asheville. We try to go to a new city that we've never been on our anniversary every year. No, we ate at that winery for the Biltmore. My favorites are when Phil takes me on dates for my birthday, because we always go get coffee, and he doesn't like eating breakfast at coffee shops. It's like this weird thing, and so I love eating breakfast at coffee shops.
I don't love going to coffee shops, but
Well,
she
in
doesn't love
general.
going to bars with me.
Yeah. True. And then he knows I love history, so we'll go to a museum. There's a ton of like Civil War history in Nashville, like out in Franklin. And so we'll do that and go to a plantation and usually have dinner out, and he'll take me shopping. I usually get to pick out a bag. And so I feel like those are really fun, because not that it's just all about me, because I feel like that sounds like what I'm saying, but just that it's just a day that we like unplug from everything and like dedicate the whole 12 hours of our day to spending time together. So, which I feel like is hard to do in the digital age.
Well, we went to Mexico last week. My favorite part was there was a bar right down the stairs from the lobby, and one of the nights after dinner we just went to that bar and sat there and hung out, and that was my favorite part.
He loved it.
Yeah.
He's like, this is my favorite part of the whole trip.
She'll never go to bars with me.
I just don't drink a lot, so it's just like, he just likes to hang though.
I prefer the hang at a bar more than the hang at a coffee shop.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, this one, I'm gonna have you guess who it was from. If you had to be a grandkid, Brecken, Rivers, Briley, Indy, or Britton, who would you be?
Is that from Tara?
It's from Whitney.
Whitney. Oh gosh.
If you had to be one of them.
Brecken gets the most attention.
I don't know if that's
Shade.
true.
Okay.
I feel like Briley gets a ton of attention because she's so funny.
I'm also not around him as much as you are. If I had to be one, probably Indy.
I think I'd pick Briley.
Yeah.
Just because Briley is so funny right now, and like she just like rolls through life as fast as she can, and
barrels through life.
Just barrels, yeah. And I mean, I feel like I would pick Brecken too because she's so fearless, and I feel like she reminds me of what I was like as a kid, and Tara was very similar to this, where she just like goes for things that she wants, which we always joke she's going to take over Royal and Reese someday, because she's just like so ambitious about everything that she does, and so like her yes is her yes and her no is no, and I find that really like endearing about Breck.
I think I bond the most with Brecken and Riv, just because they're the oldest.
Yeah.
So my relationship with those two is probably better than all the younger ones.
Right.
Why would you want to be Indy?
He just seems chill and cool.
He's a lot like Phil, and he loves to eat, which you do too.
Yeah.
This next one's from Whitney too. If you had to be another Huber sibling, who would you be?
So like if I had to be Tara or Whitney?
Little Savage.
I feel like I'm more like Whitney in a creative sense. Not that Tara's not creative. I just feel, but
you're like the male version of Whitney.
Yeah.
Well, and I always call Whitney Phil, and it's super weird. And she's always like, "Stop calling me Phil," or I call her Babe all the time, and I'm like, "Ew, it's so weird." Personality-wise, I guess I would relate more to Tara because I'm more similar to her, and we're both like driven in the same way, and our personalities like socially are very similar. So I feel like it wouldn't be that different of who I already am.
Someone asked, what helps you keep the flame going?
Oh!
They've been married for
just celebrated
almost
5.
6 years.
This person has?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And yeah, Phil and Kait just celebrated 5.
I don't know. And this might be a weird answer, but like because we spend so much time apart, when I do come home, I'm just genuinely excited to see her because I've been gone from her for so long. So, yeah, it's like if you were away from your significant other for long periods of time, you'd be excited to come back and see her too. So.
This is going to sound like such a boring, like textbook answer, but creating boundaries in your relationship for me is like something that I feel like has been really important, because whether you live together and you just both work 9 to 5s and you only see each other before like breakfast and at dinner time, that's also hard. And I know that sounds really dumb, but if you're married, like there's really not a lot of time you're spending together, and especially if one spouse works on the weekends. And so creating boundaries for yourself with your job, your friendships, even church, overtaking things in like your free time, and not having those things consumed by other people, and making sure you're spending time with that person. And I feel like for me, we like value that time together so much with each other because we don't get it. But I feel like most couples could say that, especially if they're both working or in school and whatnot. So just making sure that you're not overriding the time that you should be spending together with and filling it with people, work, or like obligations, I guess you could say. And I feel like that for us, if that means like one night a week we just say no to everything else or do a date night or whatever, then I feel like it makes the other person feel like they've been a priority, and that makes us feel still close to each other. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this one's from me. If you had to like name a Italian dish to describe each other, what would it be?
Oh, wow.
Trying to think of the
And why, yeah.
yeah, whatever the fanciest one is. Like cacio e pepe.
What is that?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I feel like that's pretty basic though. I mean, it tastes good.
True, yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't know. What would it?
For Phil, I would say it's the most simple, which is funny that you said the most fancy. I would do spaghetti because Phil is super easy to be around and he's so chill and everybody likes spaghetti, and at least I feel like everyone does. And there's not like, I felt like when we were first married, I thought that he was more like, he was harder to figure out, and then I'm like, oh, you're so complicated, but he's really not. And you're like such an easy roommate because you're so clean. You always smell really good. Brushes his teeth a lot. He likes spaghetti. He just smells good like spaghetti. Spaghetti also has good hygiene. No, but I just feel like it's like he's really easy to be around and everyone likes him. It's like easy crowd pleaser.
What's the most fancy Italian dish you've ever had? Oh, something with truffle oil on it?
That's what I was thinking.
Like lasagna is kind of complicated. I feel like
layers.
I got a lot of layers.
Sorry, that was kind of a stupid question.
No,
I
love
liked
it.
Okay, where is your favorite place to go as a couple?
That would probably be a different answer. We're so opposite, so I feel like what my favorite place won't be his.
Well, she'll say like
Oh,
Chili's.
as a couple?
Yeah, as a couple. I don't think it has to be a restaurant.
Oh, we go to freaking Jimmy Kelly's all the time.
Yes.
Freaking Jimmy Kelly.
So it's
But
a
we
Nashville,
like it. It's a great place.
It's a Nashville like old home turned into a steak restaurant, and it's been open for like 100 years. And the Kellys, the family still owns it, and Jimmy Kelly is still there. And it's a steak place where like old money in Nashville and like older people.
Yeah, it's not
go
necessarily
eat.
like a hip place, which
It's
is funny.
like-
It's funny that you like it.
Love it.
It is good.
It's like
food.
it's like the nice Cracker Barrel of dinners. You
It's
know?
nothing like Cracker Barrel.
I mean, like, people that would go to Cracker Barrel, maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't connect that.
I'd give a shout out to Jimmy Kelly's.
Okay,
if you're in
it's
Nashville,
awesome.
definitely try it. But that would be probably our favorite place to go together.
Yeah. It's like our fancy spot. Like, if we're celebrating something, we usually go there.
Okay, this is the last question. What is your favorite part about getting to watch each other, like, chase your dreams?
You go first.
So you can answer for, like, each other.
Well, I've kind of always been, we've both always been chasing our dreams, but I felt like at the beginning of our relationship, I was really pursuing drumming, and I was really like on the grind and hustling, and I was taking pretty much any gig I could get and playing with any artist that would have me, and I wasn't making a ton of money when I first started.
Yeah.
Or when we first got married. And Kait was working. She worked at Nordstrom for a little bit, and then she worked for a company called Finance Express, and she was kind of like definitely helping things financially by working and having a good job. So it kind of gave me the opportunity to pursue music the way I was. But once I started getting a little bit better gigs, it gave us a little bit more freedom financially for her to pursue something that she really wanted to do.
Yeah.
So by the time I was getting good gigs and was making decent enough money, that's when she went and started working at Royal and Reese. So it was cool that, like, while I was pursuing my dreams, she was like supporting me and working a job financially, and then once it got to the place where I could do the same for her, she went and chased her dream too. But I just like I just love watching her be a leader, and I think she does such a great job, and she's such a boss, and I love it.
Did your team
True life, I'm married to a mogul.
Well, he gave this speech to our team last night. I made the whole team play the compliment game, so they either love me or hate me today, but we were up to like 1 a.m. And then Phil ended it saying just like how much he loved watching the team and saying like how much we support and love them. He was like, we would have your backs and anything, and I'm like over in the corner like, it was so nice. But it's since it's a family business, like we do love and support each one of our employees so much, and it's like so like inspiring to be able to have built that and have 9 people in my family room right now working for our company. So my favorite part of watching Phil is, I feel like this word describes both of us, is that we're both relentless with pursuing a dream. And so many people say like, what's the secret? Or like I get messages almost every single day, if not multiple times a day, like, how are you doing this? Like, how is social media resonating for you? How are you getting to do what you want to do? And there is no secret formula. There really isn't. And I feel like people always want the quick fix and give me the ABC steps. And it's like, that's not the way that this works. Like, it's so many years of pounding the pavement. Everybody behind me and behind the camera has a computer, and they're all pounding the pavement with social media and web management and editing photos. And there's just so many things that you don't share or talk about with what goes on in the business. And so, like, me knowing how much that took for our career, like even more so watching and getting a front row seat to Phil's, like I feel like I understand the grind and what he's had to do. And so I feel like it's like when people are saying like, wow, Phil got really lucky to get that Kelsey gig, I'm like, no, Phil worked his butt off for 10 years. And we went through a lot of like really hard times where nothing was coming down the pike, or he went through a year of auditions where he got like 9 no's. And those were like really difficult to be like, I know I'm talented, I know I'm called to this, but I keep hearing no, and that's really hard. And just
for
knowing,
every gig I got told no for like
at least a couple times. Yeah. And it wasn't that it was all no, it just wasn't the right yes yet, I guess I could say that. But a couple weeks ago I went on the road with Phil, and I would stand in front of house with like the sound people, and so I'd stand behind them, and there would be moments where I would just like dance and sing and like have fun with the concert, but then there would be moments where I would sing the words, or I would just stop and like reflect, and every time I did that I would get nervous because I would start to cry. And it was like so crazy to see him at these, you know, arenas or sheds or what they call them, outdoor venues, opening on a tour with Kelsey Ballerini, opening for Keith Urban, who is like, well, one of Phil's favorite country singers of all time, and just being on that tour and experiencing that, but like knowing what he's done to get to that point is what I think makes it special and so much more like worthwhile and valuable, because it's not one of those things that just like fell in his lap. And so I think the backstory of like that makes it more special. So going to shows to me is like, now I think like, I guess, so inspiring to be able to see Phil's dream actually unfold. So, but I feel like we would have appreciated Royal and Reese and this gig a lot less if we hadn't gone through what we have in the past like 10 years of our relationship. So yeah, I feel like you've pursued it so steadfastly, and Phil also is incredibly humble. Like, even if there's a drummer that's at like, you know, this like piddly bar in the middle of Michigan, I'll be like, is that drummer any good? And he'd be like, yeah, he's great. Like, he would never say that somebody else is not great or that they're not talented and stuff. And he's like, he's out here just doing what I'm trying to do, you know, and he's like so humble about his talent, even though it is like God-given. So I think that's like super admirable of you too.
Yay.
I just love you, Phil.
You guys made it.
If you like this video, make sure to click the subscribe button down below.
Down below.
Wow,
leave a comment, subscribe, thumbs up.
Yeah, give us a thumbs up.
Give us a
leave
like.
a comment, ask more questions, and we maybe do another one later.
Ooh, that's fun.
Maybe if we get 50 comments, we'll do another one. Give us 1,000 likes. Okay, bye everyone. Thanks for watching.